Hello and welcome. I'm Rahul. You're watching me on my Facebook page, on my YouTube channel, on my talks. And if you're watching me consistently, welcome back to my channel. I always try to come up with new ideas, in order to make you abreast with the latest development, whatever is happening in the world. Because contemporary development in science and technology, which can hugely impact the humanity, I try to bring only that kind of knowledge in front of you. But many times I talk about motivation, I talk about spirituality, because as the time passes in your life, you want to learn something new. You want to always, in having a tendency, a quest for knowledge. Your inquisitive mind will always question that something better should come to us. Many people here always try to find certain content which can resonate with their idea or their language. I try to see them exactly that this is not a bad language, this is a global language, and if you inculcate a habit of knowing this, you will transform your ability. Because learning a language gives you a in-depth understanding of that very culture, of that very domain of knowledge. So everything you will explore, and it will make you a different person. And you think that everybody should be equal, then you are making a mistake, my friend. Everybody has a role in this world, and they are doing their own role. If they cannot adapt new things, they are in different domain, they are doing different things, let them do their different things. Why you are dragging all the person at a particular place? That means you are not aware of distinguishing thing, and you are not aware of the class of every person and everything. You have to understand that class is what that segregates you. Everybody is in different class. Knowledge are of different class. Standard academics are of different class. Academics, if you are in better academics, the different life will unfold to you. And if we are making a different content, then it resonates to that people who could understand, who can have eagerness to learn something new. Many persons know, even in villages, many students are trying to understand this language, and this is a global language. Everybody should try to harness this potential. If you will understand this language, a whole new door will open for you. You will be able to having a lot of qualitative resources in front of you, and you can use that. And that is why I want to make something informative. I want to deliver something. I want to add certain values in your quality, and if you can, that will be better for you as well as for me, because my time will not go in vain. If you understand exactly how to learn this language, you will make a habit to different changes, to your mentality, to your attitude, to your understanding of different culture and different reality. Because I don't like hardcore people, and they will never like hardcore reality of people. You don't know exactly what is hardcore torture. When you will see the fear from nearest point, the fear that creates in our mind void, when you will be in darkness, and when you will understand what is reality, when you will be alone, what is fear, and how to win at that very point. When the mind will not be able to face the fear, the darkness, what happens? At that very time, if you become the light and can enlighten other being around, that is a change that I want to see. Not the hardcore people. When you go you are hanging with 4 or 5 person, you are ready to take guns and shoot on people. When you are not provided guns, and when you are being provoked, you are being made to be reactive, and at that very time, how you handle your life to make it better, that makes you a person, not the person who takes gun and fire on people. This is called hard world, in my vision. And you face the challenges of mind, and then you have to overcome all the challenges, these different forces of the universe, and they will be behind you. The intelligent mind and then intelligent design, when you will try to decipher that, go on that very path to understand how intelligent the universe is, and your made values, your perception, your inner mind, your inner wisdom, how it is entangled with the darkest force and the light of the divine God. When you face that, then you'll understand what is hardcore and what is difference between subtle reality. Education is very subtle. That I want to tell you, education is very subtle. That makes a difference. Education is all that is here. It makes you different. You have to read it. You have to toil hard to assimilate, to adapt a lot of education. You have to toil hard, very hard. Many person, they read the whole night in order to be educated, in order to find something out of some value out of their books. And not one day, not 2 day, not a year, 20 years, 30 years they have to read. Suppose how much strong effort it takes, dancing and making videos and then earning on that in 2 years makes you a different person. It is all myth. When you will decipher the reality behind education and behind the real fight of darkness and light, then you will be a human being, what is called human being. And you will understand exactly what is divine, what is difference between human and what is difference between God. And when you adapt that changes, then you will understand exactly how deeply it goes. The person that you become after 20 or 30 years, the person that you were before 30 years, there is a huge change between that. To embrace that change, you have to go on a path. And the path, the obstacles, the constraint that you faced, it makes you a different personality. You have to be a still water in order to go, higher. Everything you have to adapt. There are many dark forces, they want to bring you down. There are many dark forces. If you are ascending, there will be many dark forces to bring you down. But you have to understand how to be still water. If you will be reactive, I have been, and then many people make mistakes. And that's why I want to tell you that you have to learn from your mistakes. And if you learn that, if you will be reactive, if you're not learning that, then you are making a mistake. Because if you will be reactive, devil knows exactly how to fulfill his purpose. He wants chaos all the time. He doesn't want to see a limited growth, in a way that should be already, nurtured enough. He wants to change, drastic change. He also wants to see, but just like chaos all around, not the drastic change in your lifestyle, in your livelihood, better lifestyle. He doesn't want to see that, and his mentality of fulfilling. That's why I hate hardcore people. I hate, That is what I want to say, that, if you want to learn something important, you have to be someone who can assimilate new things, who can assimilate, who can walk on a path, who will be open to adapt new things. And that's why I want to bring that kind of impact in people, But if certain avenues, if you think that kind of potential I have, you have, you can discuss with me in comment box. You can write that I have that kind of potential. You are also persevering, you are also walking the very path of, going through that very constraint. You have perseverance, you have resilience, that is making you better. And if you encounter these kind of forces, if it happens to you, you can share with me. You can comment in the comment box, and I will read that, and I will also answer that if it will be answerable to me, And I strongly believe that if you want to enhance your capability, and you have right intents, nobody can stop you. You can start on your path, on your journey, and the journey and the steps will make you a different personality, will open gate for you. Everything will unfold in front of you, but you have to take action. Action makes a difference, If you are contemplating again and again everything in your mind and not taking action on that, it becomes a burden. It will not fructify. But if you are taking action on your plan each and every day, it will fructify very good, and it will transform everything. Many days you will feel that certain thing you have done in your life, you will be proud of that after that, But if you contemplate a lot, sitting and very deeply, if you go and don't take action on that, it becomes a burden. Our mind and its thought has certain gravity that you have to understand. If you will be contemplating all the time, this gravity, this burden will certainly be overwhelming. That is why take action. and every thought process that you want to invoke into reality, that you want to manifest into reality, that you want to feel that it should happen in your physicality, then you have to take action. Action makes difference, all the differences. I want to create a change in my life. Everybody, whatever they do, they have a motive. They want to get benefited out of that, and I want to benefit myself. Many videos, if you will see, I have been very fluent. Many videos, you will see that I have been slow because I'm not consistent enough. I have to be more consistent. Every day I have to practice, and I'm doing almost from a decade on this language, and all the learnings that I have accumulated. I have invested my decades of hard work in that. Then I have felt certain changes. If I will not be consistent, it will dissipate out because it is not our mother tongue. We don't use this language in our daily day-to-day activities. Wherever I'm placed, wherever I'm working, I'm a professional. You know that I'm working in a bank for more than 10 years. And I do not talk in this language at my workplace, not even in my family. So what will happen if I will leave it, making videos and trying to talk to myself? After some days I will not be able to communicate. This is a great skill that will dissipate away. And many dark forces work on that. You won't even believe that what happens to a people who is making progress, and especially if he is someone who is a torch bearer of wisdom. I think of myself, a little bit someone who faces all the time negative forces. I perceive that. That is why I'm telling you, when you will be someone who can impact the matrix with greater force, you will always face the dark forces. Your mentality, your intuitive mind will say you exactly what is happening. You will be understanding everything. And if you're not still, if you're not a water, if you are someone who can just like act like an energy drink in a bottle, when you will seek that, you will come out of that, with a force. It will not work. These forces are very, these are universal forces everywhere. And universe is very big. You cannot stand taller. For that, you have to have light. You have to have certain support. And that support will come from your stillness, from your own attitude, from your mind, from your peace, from tranquility of mind. Everything you have to face. Then only you understand exactly how deep you have to go. And it is important. Many people say that on a spiritual level that you have to pray each and every day. I do not inculcate a habit of praying each and every day. Yes, many things has been changed. A little bit I do. But people see that praying every day will help you. Since because I have been a student of science, I have gone a little bit agnostic, you can say that, Because of that, learnings and high pressure, examination or whatever you say. I was a good student in academic, an average student, you can say that. But I was very hardworking in my studies and I was focusing on that, Because of that, with spirituality, I was away. And since there is a mindset in my mind that everything works on science, I never inculcated this habit of praying, But when I understand that this dark force really exists and it is conspiring from a long time, and if I would have inculcated this habit of praying with the God and making relationship, fostering relationship with God, it would not have happened in my life. It would not have happened. But everything was not aligned, If you become a hardcore science student, you do not believe in God, it happens to become agnostic or atheist, whatever you say. But later on, when I realized, when my common sense started working, recognizing everything, the pattern, if you have certain data of past, then only you can analyze it. And that experience came after 25 years of age. I realized that this much amount of time I have invested in good academics, and I have learned these subtle forces, this thing happen, and then I analyzed my life, past life, Then I realized that there was something which is filling the gap. It was not science, it was a spirituality. You have to believe in. You know, in whatever religion you follow, I do not ask you to follow any hardcore dogma. I am averse of that. I am a Hindu, I believe in God, and I worship and I respect every God. Worship, occasionally when my family involves in certain rituals, I do that. But I know exactly where to pray and how to pray, how to pray now after 25 years of age. And that is why I strongly will recommend you that do not be a hardcore dogmatic person. Yes, pray. Try to make a belief in these universal forces. God is not in human form that you think of. Since our many, books or whatever you say, our holy books, they have humanized God. That's why we perceive God in human form. The greatest design is universe. And when it starts talking to you with intuitive mind, try to believe in that God is a force. In whatever form you believe in, it will manifest. And do not believe in wrong things. I always tell you that many people in Hinduism, in every religion, they have made it bad. Many person came, many rituals are bad. We want to eradicate that, but it is so intertwined with our society that it will take at least 2 or 3 centuries to be uprooted. I cannot uproot it alone. I just want to tell you, do not believe in wrong things, wrong dogmas, because wherever you bring your faith, your holiness, it acquires a power, and after that it becomes so strong that if someone wants to make a change, it opposes that. These forces are very subtle but very strong. That's why I want to tell you, try to recognize what is right ritual, where the God resides actually. It can be anywhere, in any form, in a stone or in somewhere else, without a stone, everywhere. God is, pervasive everywhere. Now I'm not agnostic, you can say that I'm not atheist. I'm a believer, but I don't have too much time to do rituals. I don't believe in rituals, and that has been, I realize that advantage the dark forces have taken, because many a name like Jesus and other gods, of real forms, who have given their life, if you take their name, these dark entities, they fear that. And that is why I want to tell you that, yes, certain vocal cords, certain names, certain praise help. And you have to believe in that. But take your time, everything face, then you make a understanding out of that. I always recommend to all the people, best I talk about rational mind and cognitive abilities all the time. That's why it is dependent on you how to perceive your God, how to perceive your religion, what kind of hardcore belief you have, what kind of dogmatic principle you inculcate in life. It is dependent on you. You will have to take decision on that. I'm not someone who can recommend you to do that, to do this, but whatever you will feel, accordingly you will act on that. I just want to save your time because I have invested my time and I have learned something out of that. I just want to save your time. I just want to give you a clue how you can save your life out of that, because whenever I talk about subtle things, spirituality, many people say that don't talk about that. People will laugh at you, and I strongly feel that it may happen because God is something which is always debatable. Where there is no existence of something, everybody can debate. They can have certain resources to create an argument against it. They will not talk about abstract things because they don't have mind. All they have, their hardcore belief in something, that they want to find something perceptible, something written on paper. You can write that. Feelings you can write, but you cannot perceive. You're not a human being. Emotions you cannot perceive. You're not a human being. That happens. That is why I don't want to bring these things, and I have always kept myself away from that. I never involved in that. But many times, if you talk more, there should be certain point, there should be certain subject, on which you can debate, on which you can talk, on which you can, contemplate and ponder, and then you can bring something in front, bring forth, something, some news. Let's say I want to talk about my experience, and from 5 or 6 videos, I'm just talking about my experience. I'm not working, on any kind of script. I'm not working on any kind of script right now. I'm talking impromptu. I just want to talk my feelings. I just want to make myself better. How many times, if I can repeat myself each and everything, whatever I want to talk, if I can deliver in front of you, what could be better than that? Having access to a language, on deep level makes you a versatile person. A person who can have certain skills, he will certainly be able to make living out of that. 2 times of bread. It will be easier for him to take. If I will go somewhere to take classes or to do anything to impart knowledge or to go on a journey where I can do transformative things. So for that, I have to make myself certain being. Who can be equipped with all the techniques, all the subtle knowledge and subtle techniques that requires to be a skillful person. And that is what I'm doing. This has been my purpose all the time. Whatever I'm doing, I'm not earning right now with YouTube or Facebook or any kind of followers. I don't have so much follower, but whatever I believed in, I'm making myself better. And I am very good at writing essays or writing everything. I'm very good, even vocabularies. I have deep English vocabulary. But what happens when I come to speak? Many times I speak very fluently. Many times something happens within. Some environmental forces acts against you. This is what I perceive that, and that is why I want to tell you that always there will be a difference in my tone, in my fluency, in my whatever frequently I talk about. The voice, the vibrations, everything changes, and it happens. Many forces creates, environmental forces create difficulties. Every environment facilitates you certain language, certain certain your color, your understanding, your height, your weight. Everything is impacted by the environment. Your language is a part of that. Why many people have good complexion in West? Why Indian people are of certain dark complexion? Yes, that you have to believe in. That environmental forces also act. Everybody knows that this is basic science. Because of humidity, because of entropic reasons. Geography. They know exactly. Who have been the students of biology or any kind of science student, they would be knowing that that geographical constraints makes certain differences in your complexion or in your language processing activities. What is phonetics? Phonetics is something that tells you how to tell everything, like how to pronunciate everything in correct way. But everywhere, if you go in America and go from one side to another side, or if you go in UK from one side to another side, their fluency, their phonetics, and their expression, their pronunciation differs. It differs. I want to make it clear that whatever I speak, it resembles a little bit of American side, but I do not claim that, because I claim that I have not inculcated pronunciation as per phonetics. I have learned a little bit of that, but I have not gone deep inside. I did not have time. All I have time to make myself aware of the vocabularies. That there is a huge vocabulary in English language. We all know that. If we have access of at least 50% of that, then we can be very good speaker, very good, very advanced speaker. And that is where I'm working, because it will take your whole life if you want to learn every phonetics and every kind of accent, American accent and British accent. It will take many a time. Even if someone claims that he knows everything, 5 or 6 accent, but they are very not deep. They are not deep inside. They are very on surface, not in deep. That is what I want to tell you. It takes even lifetime. And if you make a analogy of American people, so British people, the geographical accent, you will feel that everyone geography has different accent. So it does not resemble. So as long as you are making everything clear to people, as long as you are able to deliver your speech, if you are able to convey your speech, it is okay to have accent, that kind of accent. I do not, cast aspersion about others' ability in whatever way you learn, whatever accent you try to adapt. If you speak, it is good because it is a very good language to access all the information, global information. Thank you for listening to me. The video is getting longer. Thank you for listening to me.